Hi there, hi, good morning everyone. This is Liz Davis. I am a nutritionist and I specialise in digestive health for busy women. So I help busy women fix their IBS, bloating, painful digestion, reflux and so on. Any kind of related hormone issues, chronic fatigue, etc. Because quite often they have a lot to do with what's going on in your gut as well. And I help clients usually by using state-of-the-art gut testing and dietary and lifestyle upgrades to gently bring things back into balance for you and get your gut functioning as it should be again. So if you get the IBS diagnosis, you quite often will be just left to manage it on your own, or given maybe some medications to manage it. But the trouble with this is it's generally a one-size-fits-all kind of a solution. And the reason you're getting IBS can be, it's very unique. It's unique to the individual. There can be a lot going on. So I'll just cover 4 of the main reasons you may be getting it. But do bear in mind there's an awful lot else that we need to look at as well. Digestive function and so on, and all sorts of different things. But here are 4 areas that may kind of be of interest to you if you're looking into this area. So first up then, we want to be looking at your levels of bacteria. So you have bacteria in your gut called commensal bacteria that should be there all the time in healthy numbers, and these bacteria help to keep you nice and healthy. So not only your gut health, but your immunity, your sleep, everything, lots and lots of different things that they're involved in. So we want to see all these bacteria in healthy numbers, and there are bacteria that are more beneficial than others. So there are some we want to see in healthy numbers, and there are others that will be in your gut just living there quite happily, and if they're kept in check they won't be causing too many problems. If this situation starts to get out of balance, however, you've maybe got certain species which are missing, certain strains that are missing, or maybe you've got an abundance of some which maybe, for example, might be a bit inflammatory. These can cause problems as well. So it's nice to have a look at the microbiome and see what's going on there, and see if your particular situation, your microbiome situation, is kind of optimal and functioning for you as it should be. So next up, as part of this microbiome, there may be parasites present, which is probably not as alarming as it sounds, although it can be. Some people can have parasites in their gut and not even know they're there. They don't cause any problems at all. However, some people might have them and they may cause them significant problems. So again, what we need to do is look at why this situation has arisen in the first place. So what's caused this to happen, and what's your gut not happy about, so it's allowing these certain strains to flourish when they really shouldn't be in there, and causing you problems. So that's the second kind of big area we need to look into. So the third area, and really important area, is your stress levels and your gut being your second brain essentially. So we need to look at what's going on with your enteric nervous system, which is your gut nervous system, because what's going on in your mind will always then be playing out in your gut. They're very closely linked and they are always talking to each other. So it maybe you don't know you're stressed because you've possibly always been stressed. If you've been stressed since childhood for any particular reason, you may just be used to being stressed. The trouble is, when you're stressed, you go into fight or flight, which isn't conducive to having optimal digestion. So it's a big area that needs to be worked on for sure. It could be that you're just undergoing some acute stress. Maybe you've got a very stressful situation playing out now, and that is causing your gut to kind of just seize up, go into fight or flight, and just basically not digest your food particularly well. So again, a big area to look at, and often one of the more challenging sides of a treatment plan that we need to face. So next up, number 4, is food sensitivities. So you could have food sensitivities, you may not have food sensitivities, but it's often a big area when I'm speaking to clients that they will have explored themselves. And sometimes people can end up taking far too many foods out of their diet, which can have the opposite effect to what we want eventually. So diets such as the low FODMAP diet, the Candida diet, etc., are really only designed for short-term use. So if you find that you're taking more and more foods out of your diet and your symptoms keep coming back or it's not working at all, it's going to be important to kind of have a closer look at your gut, usually with testing, and just find out what's going on in there and why your gut isn't tolerating these harder to digest foods, because that's all they are. High FODMAP foods, they're just a bit more challenging for your gut to deal with. So sometimes it will start protesting and it doesn't like it, and is far happier if you take those out. But really, it's not a healthy gut situation. Your gut should be tolerating most of those foods. And the idea is to get you eating as many different kinds of foods as possible, so getting a wide variety into your diet. The couple of big offenders, though, are always going to be stuff like gluten and dairy, for example. Some people will often struggle with those, no matter what we do, and which is fine, just take them out of your diet long term. But if it starts to go into the more healthier vegetables, etc., we could have a bit of a problem there, because you don't really want to be avoiding too many of those. Okay, so that's 4 big areas we would look at in a client who has IBS. As I say, there's lots of other things we need to look at as well, such as your digestive function and what's happening there, and there's all sorts of different moving parts. So do bear that in mind. It can quite often be quite a complicated situation to try and fix. Okay, well, I hope you found that useful. If you did, do like and share, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye.